My colleague is coming up, Ashley Burke. She's reporting on repairs and maintenance that's going to be done at Stornoway, the residence that you're going to move into. And basically in the period between now and when that happens. The repairs amount to $170,000. Your office had to give them access and time to do that. Are you okay with that level of repairs?
I've asked the NCC that we want to move in our own kids' furniture. We don't want anything done. We want to get in so that we can show we are ready to form a government. I don't want any expense paid, but what the NCC does on their own, we are not in the house yet. But it's important for me as somebody who has young kids. We want them to have their rooms, the furniture made by their grandfather in Nova Scotia. That's going to be our approach. People will see that we know where they've come from because we're a middle-class family. We have an honor of serving in this role right now, but we're not asking for any work or repairs.
But are you okay with $170,000 being done? You know why I'm asking, because of the controversy around 24 Sussex. Obviously this is a smaller amount, but in the past you've said those repairs should only be done if Justin Trudeau pays back, if the Prime Minister pays back the costs of the Aga Khan trip. So you've associated
his first ethical scandal. I remember back then, and he's now on his third.
But you've associated it in a political fashion.
And if the NCC does something before we get in there, we want it to be minimal.
Have you communicated that to the NCC?
I haven't even been there yet because I've been rolling up my sleeves to get things done. We're going to show Canadians that we're a government in waiting. I'm a middle-class dad. I'd prefer to just stay status quo, but I'm committed to showing we're ready, and my kids and my family are important to me, but I want to be accountable to the taxpayer always.
It is the NCC also saying that those repairs are necessary for 24 Sussex, right? So,
the Prime Minister hasn't presented a plan. So I'm looking forward to the plan wherever it comes.
But for you, this is apolitical, so you're not going to tell the NCC one way or the other.
We've already said we want minimal done, and we want to even do things like use our children's own furniture. We don't want anything special. We want to just get to work.
Okay, I'll leave it there. Thank you, Mr. O'Toole. I appreciate your time as always.
Thank you.
That's new Conservative Party leader Erin O'Toole. As you heard there, he says that he told the NCC, that's the National Capital Commission, that his family wanted minimal work done on the Stornoway residence, and that his family has not asked for any of those repairs. The CBC's Ashley Burke, as I said to Mr. O'Toole, is the one who is reporting on this story for us. She joins me now. Hey, Ashley, good to see you.
Hi, Vashi.
Okay, so you heard exactly what Mr. O'Toole said in response there to your reporting. Can you outline for viewers who aren't familiar, let's say, with Stornoway or the NCC, exactly what you discovered, and then we'll get a bit more into what Mr. O'Toole said.
Exactly. Well, the National Capital Commission for people outside of Ottawa, it manages the official residences, and right now it's trying to cram in about $170,000 of work, repairs and maintenance to Stornoway, the official residence for the leader of the opposition, and they're doing that right now because it's vacant. So the thought is that it's not tied to the former leader or the incoming leader, so they can get a long list of repairs done that they haven't been able to do because there's been someone living there, but also just how political this issue is. Now, the list that the NCC confirms of work they're doing includes everything from, about $30,000 in kitchen renovations, from taking out, old fluorescent lights to changing them with, more modern pot lights, from tearing out flooring that's rotted in some corners in the kitchen, refurbishing the countertop in there. They're painting the entire house from top to bottom because the source said they can't remember the last time they've done that. They're doing things in the basement. So, for example, like tearing up the laundry room floor. They're also doing some work on the heating. Outside of the house, they're spending another roughly $22,000 replacing things like rotting wood, repairing the gutters, pressure washing the house. They're putting a new roof on the garage outside. So these are a list of projects that the NCC has been saving up. It says it now has the time and the money, and it was given access by the Conservatives to the House to do this work. This is something that that O'Toole, that his office, says they were not aware of the price tag. The NCC says it's become a policy of theirs over in recent years to not tell the incoming occupant how much these projects are costing, because in the past, when they've told political leaders what it would cost, they have in some cases found a way to stop that work from going ahead just because they don't want the public scrutiny.
And you heard from Erin O'Toole there saying basically that their preference is, or that he's said that his preference is, to keep those repairs minimal. He has not said to the NCC, I don't even know, you can tell me if he could say don't do them or only do a few of them. Is that possible?
Well, I think the thing in the past has been, because there's no one in there right now, it's easier for them to get this work done. But in the past, they have had cases where the party has said, look, you can't have access to the house. So I guess that is potentially an option, but it's not quite clear to me. It sounds like they have already started this work. They're going ahead. But this has really been a political debate that's been going on for almost as old as these houses are themselves. Politicians have really been hesitant to seem like public money is being spent on something that could benefit them personally and benefit their family as well. That's one of the reasons that 24 Sussex has become inhabitable. It's in critical condition. No one's living there right now just because it's deteriorated to this point, because politicians didn't want to put money into those repairs over these years. Now, a source working with the government, NCC source, has said that they are working with the government right now to try to come up with some sort of long-term solution to take this out of the hands of politicians so that the accountability doesn't lie with them. So they're trying to find a way to secure some long-term funding as well as unfettered access to these official residents so they can actually do more maintenance work to make sure that it doesn't cost millions of dollars down the line by leaving it like this. Now, I spoke to a former Liberal senator who spent much of his career fighting to protect heritage buildings. He said that one way that they could make a change is it would have to be legislation coming into effect.
So once for all, let's adopt an act that would integrate those two buildings in the national core of our identity and make sure that they're properly maintained. It's our pride that is at stake there.
Now, one of the things to remember is these official residences, while political leaders may live in them, they are owned by Canadians and they're paid for by Canadians to maintain them, which is quite a cost every year.
All right, thanks, Ashley. Appreciate your reporting. As always, the CBC's Ashley Burke for us. Hi, I'm Vashi Capellos, host of Power in Politics. See more of our show by subscribing to the CBC News channel or click the link for another video.